Does the man right here really need any introduction? I don't think so. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Brightworks, where today we're going to be taking a close-up look at a remarkable build. A build that has me scratching my head, wondering how in the hell it's possible. And I figured I would take you along for the ride because not only I, but I'm sure many of you are going to be curious what Mr. Big Dolfy himself has in store for us today. Dolfy, as probably the title or thumbnail or some other spoiler for this video has already informed you, is going to be going for some sort of cheeky Marauder rush here. And so I want to pay close attention to exactly what he goes for in what order. So let's get right into it. Straight off the bat, we are going into 3 metal extractors right into 2 wind turbines. That's all stock standard. And a solar panel after that because the wind speed is so low. That's unfortunate. Probably wasn't expecting the wind speed to be so low right about now. Was probably hoping for quite a bit higher. What can you do? It's a good improvisation here. It shows us that you can get away with it if you still are creative about it, and you can manage to cuddle together a build even if it's against your all odds. All right, going into a bot lab after 78-ish energy production. Call it 80. Right into that bot lab. And what will be the first bot that we are producing here? Looks like it's going to be a res bot. All right. Res bot, of course, very powerful for eating up all of the reclaim around the map. We can get all these trees. We can get all of the rocks and such that are laying around on the map all over the place as well. A couple hundred metal tied up in all those rocks. And then a constructor. Then back into wind production almost immediately. Another res bot. Okay, this constructor is going to go build the metal extractor. Fair enough. Another res bot comes out. Going to be for energy collection here. Going to get all the rocks, actually, of all. How we did that command, by the way, is you hit E, you hold the left alt, and you hover over one of the rocks, and you left click and drag to make a circle. Encompasses all of them. Oops. Just like that. And that'll select all the rocks specifically in that area. Handing on a construction worker to his teammate that asked for one. By the way, if you're playing in this position, you should almost always get a constructor and a res bot here so that you can eat up all your resources over here, but also so that you can start up a land-based economy, just in case your naval economy fails you. Now we're starting up some build power here, and I have a feeling this is in a really specific spot. I think these construction towers are probably right within range here. Let's check this. Yeah, so construction tower within range of 3 of the metal extractors, this one, and this one, as well as the geothermal over here. And you can see that the geothermal is going to be a key part of this plan here, especially considering the fact that we're on Supreme Straits, and this is where the geothermal now lies. Tons of res bots. What are we up to at this point? 5 res bots? All right. 5 res bots eating up resources. I mean, 4 eating up resources, I guess. This one's just hanging out at the time being. Leaking a little bit of energy here. Could go for an energy converter. Handed over some wind power to one of his teammates here. De-Skinnerfy, his backline player. Interesting. Must have been some sort of E-storage there. Going for an anti-air. And right around 3 minutes, the geothermal, 340-ish, the geothermal starts up here. Might have been waiting for a change in the wind speed. Waiting until wind goes high so that all of his teammates start overflowing energy at the same time. Gonna start producing a whole bunch more wind turbines at the same time. Very, very nicely done. Going into, or rather going out of the bot lab here. Gonna eat all that up. Turn it back into some juicy, juicy metal. Wind turbines galore. The geothermal does finish up here, and that's going to be a huge boost in the energy department for the Dolfster. What is the next move here? Construction turrets. 1. Energy converters. 2. Wind turbines. 3. All right. Apparently 3 construction turrets is all we're going up to right now. Going into some energy converters, that's always well and good, especially since you have this geothermal. 300 energy per second at 70 energy to 1 metal. It's going to mean that you need about 6 of these energy converters, which, take a look right here. That's exactly what he's going for. Another build tower, spread out a little bit. Probably just a anti-bombing measure, just to make sure that there's no cheeky bombers that come over and pop all of the construction turrets right here. And a T2. Oh, okay. He bought a T2 off of somebody else. Where did he get the T2 from? Ah, okay. Paid for a T2 from the backline here. Interesting. So not going into a T2 lab himself, but actually just buying one off the backline. Going into a bunch of energy storages here. That's interesting as well. 4 energy storages are queued up. We'll have to see if he finishes all of those. Advanced metal extractor starts up. Oh, advanced constructor gets blocked there for a second. Some more build power comes up over here, and this build power is going to help build these turrets, or rather the metal extractors, I do believe. Solar panels are likely to get eaten up here soon. Commander also likely to be in that position. Yep, metal extractors are coming up and online here. What have we gotten planned? 2 metal extractors at the same time. That's so close to finishing. I really wish that would finish up here. He's built the energy storages, which means he has a ton of energy, so he can actually see whether he needs to needs to build energy converters or not. Right now, T1 energy converters are going to be just fine for his purposes, not bothering to go up to T2. He's building quite a few more T1s. Not a problem whatsoever here. As far as metal goes, he is using just about all of it. I wonder if the commander is going to be sacrificed. T1 solar panels, by the way, were eaten up there. I think the construction towers were the ones that ate that up. Commander is moving into position here, and right around the 6-minute and 50-second mark, let's call it 7 minutes, the commander is headed over and getting ready to explode. Commander's explosive radius is just barely... I think it's just barely, like almost the same size as a construction turret. So if you have a construction turret just barely on the edge, you can explode your commander, and a construction turret can actually eat up the wreckage from your commander. It's very, very close, but it is feasible. A little bit of a run by over here. He's got to be worried about that. I wonder if he's going to build anything in response to that. And T2 Constructor is going to start up a advanced geothermal plant. Advanced geothermal costing 1,600 metal. Commander, of course, 1,250 metal. So it's probably how he's planning on funding that. This little run by of Seekers over here didn't actually continue for all too much longer, so I think they're probably not going to be much of a threat. Eventually all cleaned up by a bunch of blitzes that are moving down south there. I'm sure Dolfy was aware of it. He was checking, making sure that that was an option. When are we going to pull the trigger is the question here. Are we not going to pull the trigger? Are we going to just build this raw? Okay. Interesting. Actually, not enough energy production of all things in order to fund all of this. Huh. I guess that's going to be nice. Going to be quite a lot of metal storage rather, coming out now. And right into a T3 lab. Okay. All right. So we've got the advanced geothermal producing 1,250 energy per second, and I guess that's enough to go into a proper T3 lab. With how many build towers is this specifically? That's going to be 8 build towers. Working on a laboratory at the same time, pumping in 200 metal per second, 1,700 metal per second. Gonna sacrifice the commander at this point, using it for the T3 lab. Do we have enough metal for this? In my mind, the math shouldn't add up, but I guess we're pretty damn close here. Yeah, okay. 44, 46, 50% of the way through, eating up the commander with 2 constructors here, or two resbots here rather. We can also eat up these wind turbines here. They're not super effective with the wind speeds currently as they are. So that's always an option. Funnel all the available metal into this T3 lab so we can get units out as quickly as possible. I'm certain this has to be a Marauder rush. There's really no other unit that's cheap enough to effectively go for at this stage in the game. He also is overflowing metal at this point, so I wouldn't, or not overflowing metal, overflowing energy, or overproducing energy. So, yep, there it is. Starting up a couple more energy converters, so that's well to do. And this is going to be a really, really quick laboratory. We're approaching 10 minutes now. 92, 93. Metal production is 50 per second here. And the number's only going up as we add energy converters. T3 lab is up and running and completed. Mark the time, 9:52. The Marauder starts up here. First Marauder going to be completed in just a minute or so here. Bunch of metal was shared by the dark green player. In fact, I think everyone is sharing him metal. Yep, you can see metal coming out all over the place, trying to pump out as many of these Marauder as possible. And now all of the Marauder production is underway. How many do we go for is the question here. You can go for, I would say 3 is probably a good number. More the merrier, of course, but I feel like 3 is a really solid number. That way, at least if you spread them out and the micro is on point, which I would expect it would be from Dolfy, the Marauder, at least 2 of them, if one of them gets D-gunned, the other 2 are going to survive, and you're still going to be able to maintain an aggressive push right there. 2 Marauder can kill an advanced fusion reactor very quickly. Question is where to send them to. In this battle, the Northern Sea is still contested, the Southern Sea is lost. So the question is, where will these Marauder go? They are just waiting right now. Looks like 3 is way less than we're going to go for here. Dolfy instead grouping up to 4 of them, maybe 5. Gonna be building up quite a force here. Making some build power as well. Although primarily focusing on the Marauders. Somebody told me the other day that 14 minutes was about the quickest that you could get Marauders out. Apparently, that is absolutely not true. No shade to whoever that was. I think it was on stream. No shade to you for that. That was that's what it sounded reasonable to me too, but far be it from Dolfy to let the constraints of others' beliefs hold him back from innovating and pushing the boundaries of what we would consider a viable build here. Seaplane gunships are actually out already, and those are quite nice. Marauder are going to start swimming their way across the map. Marauder, of course, invisible when they're under the water, under the sea. They are, they're invisible to anything except sonar detection, but you can still see the bubbles. So what I'm really interested in is seeing the red team's perspective. Looks like they're going to go for the red player here. Going to try and kill his laboratory. Maybe not. They're just going to worry about getting on land and doing some damage over here. They could, of course, pop this geothermal over here. Probably expecting this to be an advanced geothermal at this point, but in fact, it is just a regular geothermal, and so not really going to be a viable means of attack. The front line has completely died, by the way, for the red team here. That's a favorable position to be in. The blue team's front line held on quite nicely. Of course, for 10 minutes in this game, there was effectively no player on the front lines, no support player on the front lines in Dolphy's positions. That's the trade-off here, but if you can hold for those crucial 10 minutes, make it closer to maybe 10, maybe like 11 minutes to get the first couple of Marauders out and available, but Marauder are now out, and they are, they're starting to swarm the beaches. They're gonna go after Dark Spirit, who is the highest true skill player on the red team here. Marauder are going to prioritize taking down the T2 constructor. One of them will be peeled off to do a bunch of damage over here. I think that's quite nice, going to take down that T1 light laser tower with ease, taking down all of this advanced eco here. More Marauders running into the back line, and we're going to split them up. I think we should send some to one side and some to the others. Although we could also keep them grouped together and take down these bases a whole lot quicker. Sharpshooters are out. Those are definitely an effective counter to the Marauder, but I think too much damage is already about to be done. Yep, if the Marauder can run in. Oh, the Cactus taking the hit. Marauder getting on top of the sharpshooter here. Commander does go down. The red base is demolished here. Marauder just killing the air player for the red team. They're going to kill the advanced lab here. They're going to kill the build power first. That's, of course, nice. Oh, they should kill the build power first anyway. There we go. Not bad whatsoever. Marauder leaking into the backlines here. And then, again, using the Marauder, well, kind of misrallied here, but these Marauders should also be coming in. That T3 lab is not inactive by any means right now, but we are committing to this level of production here. So no more building in the backlines here, right? The Marauder are just pushing across and going to start wiping players out. It's going to be a decisive win for the Marauder Rush, the 10-minute Marauder Rush, sub 10-minute Marauder Rush. That's going to be an excellent thumbnail. Wow. That is some powerful stuff. Very, very good to see. Very informative. There are a whole new wave of Marauder Rushers that are going to be hitting the Supreme Straits, so I hope that there's some adequate scouting from all of you lovely folks out there, because I am certain that as soon as this video goes live, we're gonna start seeing this pop up all over the place. Thanks a ton for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself. That was a quick one. Sure was. Perfect length for a tutorial video, I suppose. Maybe I'll class this under both barcasts and tutorial videos. But anyways, thanks a ton for watching, and I will see you in the very next video.